Raoul Pal says, I'm presenting a case for crypto to 3,000 institutional clients. That's a lot of clients, let alone institutional clients, and staff of Global Investment Bank this afternoon, trying to do my part and grateful for the opportunity. Wish me luck. And you know what? I wish him luck. Definitely. All right, so what's happening? Who the hell is this Raoul Pal guy? Okay, I've done a coverage on him and you got to listen to this guy. Cardano and other altcoins have massively outperformed Ethereum, according to macro guru Raoul Pal. Guys, I've got an episode and a half here. This is so important. Pay attention. All right, macro guru and former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal predicts Cardano and other altcoins will massively outperform Ethereum in a bullish environment. So what this means is that there's a high likelihood of flipping from Ethereum to Bitcoin. This guy here is saying that we're going to see a lot of altcoins become better than Ethereum. And look, that's likely. Things like Solana, Cardano, there's a high likelihood of that happening for sure. So we're going to see some flipping of altcoins into the Ethereum in a bullish environment, which I definitely do argue that we're in right now. In traditional markets, once the established trend takes place, you move at the risk curve, right? So from Bitcoin being like government bonds, and then you go to Ethereum, which is like corporate bonds, and then you go to junk bonds, which is all like the other stuff, and then the private sector lending. So I'm just moving at the risk curve because the trend is established, and I know that in a bull market, Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin and alts will outperform Ethereum. There you go. Sums it up right there. So Powell's assertions are confirmed by Real Vision's most recent portfolio review, which shows significant allocations to both ADA, DOT, and other altcoins. Look at that, boom. So don't look at the bot crypto portfolio weights. Bots just like to trade with more stable, more sort of high liquidity platforms because they need that on their side. But look at this here. So they've got a bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum, quite a big chunk. VeChain, yes, love that, although a very, very small share. They've got Aave, hugely beneficial for lending on cryptocurrency. Terra, Cardano, just absolutely smashing applications at the moment. Solana just received $314 million in funding to improve its gas fees and transaction per second. We got Cosmos, Atom, ThorChain doing really well. Chainlink, absolute powerhouse of data in crypto world, Polkadot, and Bitcoin. So, I mean, this is a pretty nice portfolio. And if this smart guy is doing it, I don't know, it might pay to follow what he's done. But you know what? Not financial advice. You do whatever you got to do. Okay, what else has this crazy guy said? Bitcoin hovering at critical juncture according to macro guru Raoul Pal. Here's why. In a new tweet, the macro guru tells 550,000 followers that BTC is flashing signals indicating that a reversal is on its horizon. Okay, I find DMARC indicators work well for me. I've never heard of that indicator, but this looks pretty cool. Work well for me for assessing probabilities. The weekly 9 on the log trend line in the Bitcoin feels about the right chance for a reversal higher. If this fails over a few weeks, lower odds. It will lead to a much longer pain. Let's see. So we're seeing a bunch of these 9s here. So there might be a bit of a reversal that's coming in here at the moment. Powell's using the DMARC indicator to time entry and exit opportunities. When DMARC sequential indicator flashes a reading of 9, traders take it as a sign that trend reversal could be in sight. Right now, people aren't really listening to the news. Like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency as a whole isn't really being traded on a fundamental signal, but more it's being traded on emotions and the psychology of the market. So looking at it from a purely technical perspective might not be such a bad idea. So the global macro investor GMI chief executive as a Bitcoin appears to be mirroring its market structure when it recovered from the coronavirus-induced collapse last year. So Powell also highlights that the current dip resembles the massive correction in 2013 before Bitcoin went on a meteoric 900% rally from $100 to $1,000, and very similar indeed to 2013. Check it out. Look at this graph. That's where we are, right? And that's what happened in 2013. 100 to $1,000. Boom, done. Right? This is the most important part, guys. Although Powell is long-term bullish on Bitcoin, we all are. We all are. Okay, he's not the only one. Winklevoss twins, we're all there. Bullish on Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, might even argue Tesla is, along with 8% of Bitcoin holders being, publicly trading companies and increasing. We're all long-term bullish on Bitcoin, okay? And therefore long-term bullish on cryptocurrency in general, right? He says because cryptocurrency is going to reflect that market. And as we know that the risk curve being stretched out, we're going to see the altcoins then, take over on those growth models. He says that another leg down is within the realm of possibilities though. Okay, just gotta be careful. Could still have one last step lower, but maybe not. Okay, so there we go. So that's how the graph looks at the moment. I'm gonna go through some more graphs in a minute, and that's gonna give you a clearer projection moving forward. Now, 100 to 200x growth incoming to crypto market, says macro guru Raoul Pal. Here is his timeline. Here we go. Former Goldman Sachs executive, the current CEO of Real Vision, Raoul Pal. Okay, just in case you didn't know what his day job was, that's his day job now. What it was before and what it is now. Following the big correction in the crypto markets, the macro guru says that he's scrounging for every last bit of cash he can find to deploy as dry powder for his portfolio. Despite the scary price action, Powell doesn't believe we've seen the top of the bull run yet. I agree. So I'm now looking for cash in the sofa cushions to add. Feels awful out there, but this is the nature of a 65 volatility plus asset class. Note, I don't think it's the top, it's just an interim large correction. These might be useful for you. Have a look. BTC now versus 2013. That's the graph here. He also looks at the price action of the 2017 bull market to illustrate that Bitcoin can potentially still climb higher. BTC now versus 2017. Look at that. Boom. I mean, doesn't take a professional trader to know that that's a good indication from history to follow. Pal has previously stated that compared to traditional markets, guys, this is really important now. The crypto asset space is relatively small. At a rate the emerging asset class growing, achieving a similar market share to traditional financial markets could catapult the crypto markets by 200%. The crypto market is at $2 trillion. Okay, to give you a bit of a perspective, Goldman Sachs manages their clients' money for profit, right? You know how much they manage in total across their company? It's only $2.1 trillion across the entire company. I guess it is only because that's the entire market cap of cryptocurrency in the world. So cryptocurrency is small. Yes, Goldman Sachs is huge, but cryptocurrency is still small is what it's saying. It's 100x from here, but I think it eats all of these assets over time. So maybe 200x. No, it won't be a straight line, but this is the biggest change in the financial markets. And I agree. It is the biggest change in the financial market. I mean, look at what PancakeSwap is offering in staking rates, right? Compared to what your term deposit is paying you. Like even on Ethereum being staked, you're going to get some pretty good returns compared to what the banks are going to pay you. So the DeFi space is going to be nuts, right? So it's going to be revolutionizing the financial markets. The system of money, economics, and how economics are run in all of history in the fastest, shortest time it's ever happened. And people are going to be tribal about it. Yes, there's no doubt about it, right? People are going to catch hold of their own narratives to make sense of the world, but this world is unstoppable and is coming. It'll have massive boom, bust cycles. There will be periods you lose money and times you will feel like God. I don't know if that's a good thing, but that's the truth. That's just what's happening right now. That's what's happening. So what you got to look at is, price dropped $3,800 on March 12th, 2020. It's roughly 10x in 15 months, but the narrative is still a 50% drop. Zoom out and chill. This is what we're talking about here. Boom, this graph. All right, those are the graphs that we're talking about here. Okay, cool. So moving forward, big short investor Michael Burry bet on Tesla stock to tumble and inflation to crush long-dated bonds. Here's what he bought and sold last quarter. Now, the focus that we're going to make on this article is the word inflation. We know he thinks that Tesla is going to tumble. I'll do a quick coverage on it. Michael Burry bets on Tesla stock to fall and inflation to hammer long-dated bonds. So Michael Burry bet against Elon Musk's Tesla last quarter and backed up his warnings of higher inflation with a slew of bets against treasury bonds. So he's basically shorting long-term treasury bonds. He's saying that there's going to be such a huge inflation and this is how he's going to make money out of it. And also we've seen that he swapped out the likes of Pfizer and Wells Fargo for Alphabet, which is Google, and Occidental Petroleum. So that's what he's doing with his stock portfolio. Barry is best known for his billion-dollar bet against US housing bubble in the mid-2000s, which was chronicled in Michael Lewis's book, The Big Short. He also helped pave the way for the GameStop short squeeze earlier this year by investing in the video games retailer, pressuring his bosses to make changes back in 2019. Pretty interesting. So yeah, he's obviously seeing that there is going to be a huge amount of inflation coming into the market. And what does that mean people are going to do? All right, what is this guy? Okay, we're just talking big names today, boys and girls. Ray Dalio, okay? Who the hell is Ray Dalio? The billionaire hedge fund boss sees an inflationary future where cash is trash and Bitcoin catches on as a store of wealth. He still doubts governments will tolerate it. Okay, I have some Bitcoin. Listen to this guy. Concerns about a looming global debt crisis have taken the world's top hedge fund manager from doubting Bitcoin to dabbling in it, right? So he used to think that, whatever. And now he loves it. He wants to get it. Personally, I'd rather have Bitcoin than a bond in an inflationary scenario, which we are seeing. It's not just according to him. We see other guys, big names that are thinking that we're in an inflationary scenario, and when we're in that scenario, then we need to get some Bitcoin to actually hedge ourselves against that. Okay, and with that, we have just been blessed with news that a top Bitcoin whale picked up 3,700 Bitcoin amidst brutal dip. Data shows a top 4 Bitcoin address added an additional 3,700 Bitcoin today, paying a total of a casual $122 million in the process. This equates to an average token price of about $32,941 per Bitcoin. How much is Bitcoin right now? Well, it's sitting at $37,000 for one. It's up about 8% in the last 24 hours. So, geez, he's made a lot of money already. Rich people will just continue to do what they need to do. So, yeah, people that have bought in that recent dip, congratulations. If you haven't, well, just got to wait for another dip. Will there be another dip? I don't know. Who am I to tell, right? But the thing is, overall, there is a bullish trend, and there's a bullish trend on these big boys. So, what do you do when the big boys talk? Well, you just listen. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you go follow me on all my channels. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys.